My name is Kennon. I'm the president of the Vehicle Service Group. Most people know it as Rotary Left. I'm trying to remember when we reneged on these promises. Other than employing 400 families here that I think make a difference in this community. I've tried to be quiet, actually, as long as I could, but I want to share a few thoughts. And I, too, am not privy to the information you all have been privy to. But I would certainly echo Mr. Goodman's comments that the process can't take this long. As an employer myself who's made decisions about buying companies, 3 or 4 companies on 3 continents, selling companies, looking for land, opening factories, the process can't take this long. And it can't be vetted all the time in public. Because as an employer looking to locate, privacy is key. And I'm sure that's why a lot wasn't shared before these meetings. So as we look forward, I think we also need to consider the signal we're sending to the community. I'm sure the community is going to want to ask a lot of questions about why we are discouraging this client from coming here, if that's what ends up happening. And I think it's a signal to the Indiana economic development. I find it unlikely they'll continue to suggest companies come to Madison, maybe for a while anyway. And I think there's some signal that you're sending to current business, because I begin to wonder how pro-business this community is as we look forward. And again, I don't know all the details. I applaud the diligence. I think you have to do that. I don't think anybody would suggest you should make uninformed decisions, but they have to be made quicker. Today I received a magazine from Site Selection. Get these all the time, full of communities dying to have companies. And when they come, they just want to know what kind of support they're going to get in the community, and they want to know it pretty fast, because they're going to make a decision fast. They're ready to move. And so I would echo the comments that have been made earlier about speed is the key. And hopefully, if we get an opportunity, and I hope we haven't scared this particular client away, that we'll get another opportunity to prove to her that we are a community that wants the jobs, and we'll make informed decisions, but we'll make them quickly. Thank you. My name is Kennon. I'm president of the Vehicle Service Group, and as of yesterday, president of the EDP. That's a tough act to follow, right? I want to share a couple of viewpoints with you, 2 different viewpoints. One, as EDP. I joined EDP about 1.5 years ago. I thought after serving about 6 years as president, I kind of had that job a little bit under control, and I wanted to give back to the community and volunteer. Some observations I've had over that time period. The board is a dedicated group of volunteers committed to improve and work for the betterment of Jefferson County. The makeup of the board is diverse, includes leaders from industry, banking, insurance, utilities, education, and government. The board is made up of leaders who run multi-million-dollar businesses and manage hundreds, if not thousands, of employees. Leaders who make informed, intelligent, and tough decisions on a daily basis in their jobs. EDP's primary focus has been on business retention and business attraction, but with the later, most recently, reactive to potential businesses. Like most nonprofits, I've said about 85% of the revenue is spent on expenses like staff, rent, utilities, insurance, etc. Very little discretionary money to do the business that they're hired to do. What I've not observed during the time is any member personally gaining anything from the organization or lining their pockets, as some in the community have alleged. The accusations are simply not true, and if they weren't so ridiculous, they'd be laughable. I've also observed there is room for improvement still with EDP, of course. EDP is an organization that could have a better vision, but suffers from a lack of how it fits from an overall county vision perspective. It's an organization that's become a scapegoat for all the problems in Madison. It's an organization that's become saddled with unrealistic expectations of success. If it doesn't bring in a new factory with 250 jobs every 1 to 3 years, it's deemed a total failure and a waste of taxpayer money. It It's also an organization that's made mistakes. In the highly publicized Mynette Boykin or solar energy, there were certainly mistakes. Mr. Berry, you asked for apologies for the board. I think the reason it didn't happen because most board members knew very little about what was going on. And that's a problem, as somebody stated earlier. I mean, we are the board, we manage the executive director. It's our responsibility to make sure we manage the process. That's been fixed. In the end, the board must take responsibility, as I said. There has been too much secrecy in EDP. I think every member of the board today recognizes that. The pendulum swung too far. There are things that have to be held confidential, but that happened in the wrong way. You should know the board is prepared to make changes, as both Mr. Berry and the mayor suggested, including a smaller board, term limits, and some of the other things that have been outlined tonight. As far as the county, I mean, we're not going to operate two boards, so if we change it to meet the city board, it's going to meet what the county needs as well. The board also recognizes the cities of Madison and Hanover and Jefferson County as our customer, and that's who we serve. Having said all this, I'm not sure what the outcome of your debates and then votes will be. I know there's a group, I believe it's a vocal minority in this community, that would like to see EDP go away. If it's how you vote, so be it. I can assure you I and every other volunteer on that board has a full-time job and we can focus 100% there.